You got the raise. Maybe it was $5,000. Maybe it was $15,000. Maybe it came with a new title and a corner office and the quiet satisfaction of knowing your work had been recognized. And then, 6 months later, you checked your savings account. Nothing had changed. This is one of the most well-documented phenomena in behavioral economics, and it has a name: lifestyle inflation. The tendency for spending to rise in direct proportion to income, leaving the gap between what you earn and what you keep almost exactly the same. Today we are going to look at why this happens, what the research says about the psychology driving it, and the one rule that the data shows actually breaks the cycle. The first mechanism is called hedonic adaptation, and it is the reason almost every financial upgrade you have ever made stopped feeling like an upgrade. Hedonic adaptation describes the human tendency to return to a stable baseline level of satisfaction, regardless of positive or negative changes in circumstance. In plain terms, things stop feeling good surprisingly quickly. Psychologist Philip Brickman demonstrated this in a landmark 1978 study comparing lottery winners and accident victims. Within 1 year, both groups had returned to roughly the same level of happiness they reported before their life-changing event. The lottery winners were no happier. The accident victims were no less happy. Both had adapted. Now apply this to your finances. The first month in a nicer apartment feels like an upgrade. By month 3, it is simply where you live. The new car smell fades. The upgraded phone becomes ordinary. The restaurant that felt like a treat becomes the baseline. And because it becomes the baseline, the next raise does not feel like abundance. It feels like exactly enough for where you are now. Research by economist Andrew Clark shows that income increases produce only temporary boosts in life satisfaction, typically lasting between 3 and 6 months before adaptation returns people to their previous emotional baseline. 3 to 6 months. That is the window between a raise feeling like progress and a raise feeling like nothing at all. The second mechanism is the comparison trap, and it operates quietly in the background of almost every financial decision you make. Social comparison theory, developed by Leon Festinger in 1954, established that humans evaluate their own circumstances primarily in relation to those around them. We do not assess our income in absolute terms. We assess it relative to our reference group, the people we spend time with, follow online, and consider our peers. This creates a problem that compounds with income. As your income rises, your social circle tends to shift. The colleagues you spend time with earn more. The neighborhoods you move through look different. The social media accounts you follow reflect a lifestyle slightly above your own. Your reference point moves up, and your spending follows it. Research published in the Journal of Economic Psychology found that people's spending on visible goods, cars, clothing, home size, is more strongly predicted by the income of their neighbors than by their own income. You are not spending based on what you earn. You are spending based on what the people around you appear to have. This is not vanity. It is a deeply wired social mechanism. But in a world designed to show you an endless feed of people living above your means, it is an extraordinarily expensive one. There is a third factor that most financial content ignores entirely, and it is the most structurally damaging of the three: fixed costs. Every income upgrade tends to come with a corresponding upgrade in fixed monthly obligations. The nicer apartment, the newer car payment, the gym membership at the better gym, the streaming services that seemed trivial individually. Unlike discretionary spending, fixed costs are not responsive to willpower or motivation. They are locked in. They recur whether your financial situation changes or not, and they accumulate silently over years. Research by economist Senthil Mullainathan shows that as fixed costs consume a higher percentage of income, financial flexibility collapses, meaning the ability to respond to unexpected expenses or opportunities disappears even as income grows. This is why high earners are frequently living paycheck to paycheck, not because they spend frivolously on obvious things, because their fixed cost base has expanded to absorb every income increase they have ever received. So what does the data say about breaking this cycle? The most effective intervention in the research literature is deceptively simple. It is called the 50% rule for raises. And it works because it operates before adaptation has a chance to take hold. The principle? When you receive a raise or income increase of any size, direct 50% of the net increase to savings or investment before adjusting your lifestyle at all. Not after you have decided what to upgrade, before. The behavioral research behind this is the same Save More Tomorrow program we covered in the previous video. Failer and Benartzi's finding that automatic, pre-committed allocation of future income increases produced contribution rate gains of nearly 4 times the control group. The reason it works is precise. Hedonic adaptation cannot attach to money you never experienced as available. If 50% of your raise is automatically redirected before it touches your checking account, your lifestyle never anchors to it. You adapt to the remaining 50% and feel no deprivation because you never had the full amount to begin with. The other 50% you can spend without guilt. The research is clear that sustainable financial behavior requires room for enjoyment. Deprivation-based budgeting has a significantly higher failure rate than flexible budgeting. Giving yourself permission to upgrade your life by exactly half of every increase is not a compromise. It is the strategy. Here is the summary of what the research shows. Raises stop feeling meaningful because of hedonic adaptation, the brain's tendency to normalize new circumstances within months. Spending rises to match income because of social comparison. We calibrate our lifestyle to those around us, not to an objective standard. Fixed costs lock in every upgrade, making financial flexibility disappear even as income grows. And the one intervention with the strongest evidence behind it is this. The moment a raise arrives, move 50% of it somewhere it cannot be touched before you make a single lifestyle decision. Not because you should want less, because the research shows that is precisely how you build the capacity to sustainably want more. Have you ever felt broke despite a good income? Tell me your income range in the comments, and I will show you where the data says the gap typically appears for your bracket. If this kind of research-backed financial analysis is what you came here for, subscribe. There is more of it every week.